Deepika Padukone today. We'll start with that because by far the biggest of the stars called in for questioning so far. Deepika Padukone was questioned about the messages that were recovered from the phone of Jaya Saha. She accepts those messages but denies having consumed drugs or being part of any drug racket. Take a look at this report.
Top Bollywood star Deepika Padukone grilled by the Narcotics Control Bureau for almost 6 hours. Deepika arrived at the NCB office at 9:48 a.m. on Saturday morning. She was then interrogated by 5 NCB officers over her drug chats from 2017 with her manager Karishma Prakash and another Quan employee Jaya Saha. As per insiders, Deepika accepted that the chats belonged to her and that she was also the admin of the WhatsApp group. The 6 hours interrogation was divided into 4 rounds. The first and second round were on statements given by Jaya Saha, Karishma and Deepika's WhatsApp drug chat. During this, Deepika was questioned on whether she has ever consumed drugs and what was her interpretation of mal. The probe agency further posed questions over who paid for the drugs and how Karishma got access to it. This was not all. Deepika was also asked about the alleged drug party in October 2017 at South Mumbai's Coco Club. The round 3 of questioning was on cross-examination, while round 4 was joint interrogation of Deepika and Karishma. NCB sources say that both the star and her manager came fully prepared, as Karishma had sought some more time for day 2 of appearance.
So far it seems that Deepika is unlikely to be called for grilling again, but the question is, are these WhatsApp chats proof enough for the Narcotics Control Bureau to implicate this star? With Divesh Singh and camera person Praveen Patil, this is Munish Pandey in Mumbai for India Today.
For a perspective on the big day of interrogation of these Bollywood stars, we're joined on the news track at this time by Umakant Mishra, former senior officer of the Narcotics Control Bureau. We are joined also by Ria D'Souza and Nupur Mehra. I want to go across to Umakant Mishra first. From what our reporters have told us and from what we heard from Mr. Jain at the Narcotics Control Bureau, we've picked up 2 things. One, the stars are not being called in for questioning tomorrow. Secondly, they've accepted that the chats are theirs. They're also saying that they did not actively consume drugs and they're most certainly part of no cartel. So it's not as if they've accepted all the questions or the charges that were flung their way by the NCB. What are you making, Mr. Mishra, of all that's in the public domain so far?
Rahul, as far as anyone not being summoned for tomorrow, I would say that NCB officers are tired. They need a breather, and also they need a situation analysis. And of course, 30 or 40% of the NCB officers are either directly or indirectly afflicted by COVID-19. So despite that, if they are busy with doing all these investigations, kudos to them. As to the other aspects, I would like to tell you, I myself, as a situational analysis or to take stock of the situation, I would interpret all the developments so far in the public domain in this way. I noticed distinct patterns. Now, the investigation started end August, and by this time, NCB must have registered about 9 to 10 cases, arrested about 17 people. You will notice a very distinct pattern. Consumption side, they have not arrested anybody. It is only whosoever related to distribution, peddling, supply side, I think people were arrested. One is that. Second is, there is a distinct predominance of female actors in the so far. This may be due to the fact that all the drug charts and everything that emerged, the female actors are involved. Jaya Saha, Shruti Modi and all that. As I told someone before, the female predominance in this investigation so far may be due to the drug charts which originated from females. You see, it is a normal human pattern. Females will be confident to share secrets with female. That may be the single most cause, because the conduit, the kind of reposing your trust among men and among women, the attributes are different. The men will maybe repose trust on their drivers, gym partners, business partners, and all that. So that no male person has been involved so far in a significant way is kind of a smoke screen, I would say that. The other point is, as far as the narcotics power of investigation is concerned, it is a kind of a trident. You see, they have the power of search, seizure and arrest, which they are doing so far. The second is asset seizure and forfeiture, the profits and the real estate or whatever kind of money has been earned out of this, they will target this. And third is preventive detention. Means they, without arresting anybody, they can detain people for 1 year or 2 years. So we are seeing only one aspect of their enforcement efforts. The two aspects are in the background now. The significantly, what is the link between these three is the use of section 27 capital A. Let me tell you, the other significant pattern I notice is that the two important persons, Madhu Mantena and the other person, Kshitij, who is arrested most probably today,
Kshitij.
they're linked to companies, institutions. Don't forget that, Kshitij. Yes, thank you. So why these two people are important, let me tell you. Why I see a pattern here is that the Quan Talent Management Agency, who has links with Smruti and Karisma and all that, and who are at the center of the drug procurement and distribution, to support the consumption of these female actors who have been called for questioning, there may be an institutional bias here. There may be an institutional base here. Why? Because the talent management company handles so many, and it is a corporate entity, and they believe in providing total solution, some of which may not be legal and some of which may be a design for client retention. You see, these talent management agencies, I guess, would be charging anywhere from 15 to 20% of the money earned by these actors, famous actors. That is a significant money. If the last year's budget, the last year's turnover of Quan will be say 65 crores, multiply by 10, it is 650 crores, disclosed earning. But they also charge that 15-20% from the non-disclosed earnings. So it is in their interest to have a client retention design.
Okay.
Where
So we'll build on some of this. I want to go across to Ria and Nupur. I'll start by asking Nupur your sense of the big day in this case. Today was the day when 3 Bollywood stars were called in. You've heard from the former officer at the NCB, from current officers at the NCB, and from our reporters. What are your key takeaways? Do you think the NCB will be able to make headway in this investigation, or is this, in your view, more likely to end up as a fishing expedition?
Well, Rahul, firstly, a very good evening to you. Now, to answer your question, I think NCB has taken this entire chapter of Bollywood and drugs and narco-terrorism in Bollywood very, very seriously. And I think it is a matter of great serious affair. And I'm very glad that our investigating authority, which is NCB, is actually now digging up the potholes and, you know, getting out people who are indulged to make India a drug-rotten country. I think this Cleanliness Act is very, very important, and let Bollywood be an exemplary platform for the rest of India, because people are crazy for Bollywood, they're fanatics, they follow Bollywood like God. I mean, Bollywood celebrities are like treated and worshipped as God and goddesses. So I'm sure when there's this cleanliness movement happening in Bollywood, the entire India will become drug-free, will be in an expedition definitely to become drug-free. However, talking about NCB, I think the channels are probably exposing and revealing whatever the sources are, coming out. And I'm very thankful to the Indian media that they are also acting as one of the investigating authorities, and they are doing their work with such sincere effect. However, there are so many other revelations which are not even exposed. Only the investigating authority like the Narcotics Control Bureau only knows that, and as and when the time is appropriate, it will come out, and probably the entire public will know about it. So I think whoever is accused, however, they are just accusations, they are just allegations, and they are not culprits, they're not convicted yet. So with these accusations, whatever comes out as the result, I think anybody who is indulged and in this illegal and criminal activities, because in our country, in India, under the NDPS Act of 1985, these are to be claimed as illegal and criminal activities, and whoever is indulged with it and associated with it, in my vision, they are anti-nationalists. So, and they should be punished appropriately and accordingly.
Okay, so let me get across to Ria D'Souza as well. Your sense of the first day of this big probe. Today was the day when the big stars were called in. They've come in obviously after having spoken to their lawyers, so they have a good sense of what their defense strategy should be, and you can't hold that against them. You won't really expect them to turn around and accept everything the NCB throws at them. So they've accepted that yes, those chats are theirs, but they're saying that they weren't part of any drug racket, and they most certainly weren't frequent consumers of narcotic substances. What's your sense, Ria D'Souza?
Hi Rahul, thank you for having me on the show. First of all, I'm not going to get into the technicalities because that is something that I'm not a law, so I'll not get into it. But what I want to say is, I don't know what has NCB derived out of it. The only people who are losing in this bargain is those three people who basically summoned. Their reputation is tarnished. They're basically social media has made them a villain today. What has NCB derived out of it? What I can say is today they might just catch the small peddlers, but actually where does the entire उनका जो जड़ होता है वो आज तक हम नहीं पकड़ पाए, ना अब ना उस वक्त पकड़ पाए जब संजय दत्त जी जो करते थे तब नहीं पकड़ पाए, और अभी भी नहीं पकड़ पाए हम लोग, और ना ये खत्म कभी होगा जब तक सफाई एक्चुअली मेन जहां से पॉइंट्स जहां से होता है वहां से अगर सफाई नहीं होगी तो there is no cleansing happening anywhere. It's just that people who are going to be pulled into it are just going to have their image tarnished. That's all. Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying this is Nupur, you want to respond to it because yes, go on, Nupur.
Yes, please. Rahul, I would like to say there is no smoke without fire, okay? So when the NCB, which is such a top-graded investigating authority of our country, have some regards and respect for the NCB. They're doing their work perfectly. And when they summon such a top star of an A banner, there has to be something. There has to be more revelations and more facts, because nobody can just put you behind the bars on just accusations and allegations. There have to be pure facts. World doesn't work on accusations. So world works on hardcore facts, and NCB must be having this thick a file against them. We have just come to know about the chats. Now, I don't know the legalities, whether you can send somebody behind the bars just with the chats. However, the IPC will say that, and probably the lawyers are supposed to answer that question. However, let me answer to Rahul. Ms. D'Souza, please don't interfere. Thank you very much. So I would say that there has to be more facts than what we are knowing about it, and NCB has summoned them, and these top actresses they have summoned, they cannot just summon them like that. If they have summoned them without any hardcore facts, these actresses can sue NCB any moment. So just saying that their reputation has been tarnished. Their reputation, they have made their own reputation. They have done their own deeds and acts, and got into this entire menace. And now when they have got into this menace, it's been exposed, and now the reputation has been tarnished. Well, these are your own actions.
Again, you're making a
Ria wants to counter that. Ria,
as of yet, they've not been summoned for anything else, just for inquiry, and they're not being considered villain by the NCB. Also, they're not going to be questioned tomorrow.
Yeah,
they'll not be called again.
Someone is always for inquiry and interrogation.
Before when you were talking, I did not talk in the middle.
Someone is always for inquiry and interrogation. You get your facts right and then come on national news. Yes, please, Ms. D'Souza. There is no cat fight happening here. And please do not counter-attack. There is a clean discussion. There is a clean debate. Please don't try to make it dirty. Thank you very much.
Who's trying to make it dirty? Who's dirty? There's nothing dirty about it. In fact, I would like to take this opportunity.
No, I think you want to do a cat fight here.
Nupur,
let me tell you.
Okay, both guests can't speak at the same time. Nupur's fader goes down. Nupur, you've spoken. No, one second. Faders down, please. Faders down, please. We can't have a conversation like this. You can't turn this into a banana republic. That's absolutely not acceptable to me. Nupur, you've had your say. Now you must demonstrate the patience to listen to what Ria has to say. I will come back to you for a counter. Please listen to Ria. Ria.
First of all, before going further, I would like to do one thing. I would like to take your platform and I would like to say this, that there are channels, there are media channels and I'll name and shame them on your channel today. There are media channels like Republic, Our Bharat, these kind of channels who hound these people without even having the facts on the table. Today, what has NCB derived? Everybody has denied taking drugs. Everybody has denied. Yes, those chats were there, but these were 2017 chats. Today is 2020. There is a 3 years gap. It could be that she might have just taken it that time. It's over now. You can't hound a person. You can't blame a person. You can't punish a person for what he has done before. It's over. It's done. Come on. I mean, move on. Do not make a villain out of a person.
So here's what I wish to say. Here's what I wish to say. The process cannot be the punishment. And I think it's important to remember that these 3 actresses and the others who've been called so far have been summoned. They are not accused of any charge at this moment, not even by the NCB. And an accusation is one thing which ultimately then needs to be proven in a court of law. They've been called in for questioning. They could be witnesses later. They could be accused. That is separate. None of that has happened so far. Therefore, do not assume that someone is guilty. This is a part of a very long investigation, and as the NCB has been saying again and again, they're going after the big fish. They say the stars are just one part of the probe, and that's not the complete probe. I'll have more for you on this story when we come back on the other side of a very quick break. Stay with us. In the first part of the broadcast, we focused on actor Deepika Padukone. Sara Ali Khan and Shraddha Kapoor were also questioned by the Narcotics Control Bureau. Let's for a moment deal with Sara Ali Khan and the kind of questions the NCB posed to her and her responses vis-a-vis her equation with Sushant Singh, her going to the farmhouse of Sushant Singh Rajput where apparently multiple drug parties took place, and her response to the question of whether she was part of the drug racket. Here is the report on Sara Ali Khan.
Top Bollywood actor Sara Ali Khan faced NCB's heat today. She was questioned by the narcotics team for 5.5 hours. Sources revealed that the actor denied all allegations of consuming drugs. However, she confessed to her closeness with co-star Sushant Singh Rajput during the shoot of her debut film Kedarnath. Sources told India Today that the actor also confessed to attending parties at Sushant's Pavana Lake house. Her Thailand trip with Sushant continues to be under NCB scanner. Sara was summoned at 11 a.m, but the actor sought time to consult her legal team in the morning before reporting to the NCB office. The actor reached the NCB office at around 1 p.m. after holding a video conference with her legal advisors along with her mother. The actor came under NCB's radar after Ria took her name during the NCB grilling. However, NCB sources claim Sara chose to stay mum over allegations leveled at her by Ria. Not just Ria, Sara has also been named by Pavna Dam boatman, who alleged that he had ferried the actor to Sushant's farmhouse, where allegedly drug parties took place.
She did confess that she had attended parties hosted by Sushant Singh Rajput at his Pavna farmhouse, but again said that she did not consume any kind of drugs over there. She only smoked regular cigarettes. She also said that regarding the viral video which had surfaced in social media, she was smoking regular cigarettes and not any kind of drugs. She tried to evade answers when she was asked about allegations leveled by Ria Chakrabarti in her statement to NCB. With Munish Pandey, Mustafa Sheikh, Saurabh Vakhtania, this is Divyesh Singh in Mumbai for India Today.
Let's now compare the answers given by Shraddha Kapoor with those given by Sara Ali Khan, because Shraddha Kapoor was also asked about her name surfacing in some of those drug conversations. Here is the kind of response that Shraddha Kapoor put out before the NCB.
Actor Shraddha Kapoor faced a 6-hour-long intense grilling by sleuths of Narcotics Control Bureau in the Bollywood drug link case. Faced with a barrage of questions, Shraddha denied consumption of any kind of drugs. But as per NCB sources, the officials are not satisfied with her answers. The NCB officials asked her some pointed questions regarding a party hosted by Sushant Singh Rajput at his Pavna Lake house in 2019. She was also asked whether drugs were consumed at the party. The NCB sleuths also questioned her over why Riya Chakraborty, the prime accused, took her name. Shraddha was also grilled regarding her connection with SSR talent manager Jaya Saha, with whom she allegedly sought CBD oil. Remember, Shraddha's name was mentioned by both Riya and the boatmen at Sushant Singh Rajput's Pavna Lake house. 33-year-old Shraddha Kapoor is daughter of Bollywood veteran Shakti Kapoor and made her acting debut in the 2010 drama Teen Patti and has since acted in a number of films, including Chichore in 2019 with Sushant Singh Rajput. Now entangled in the drug probe, the big question is, has she managed to satisfy the NCB officials probing the wider drug nexus, or else she could be staring at bigger trouble?
Shraddha Kapoor has made many revelations in her statement to NCB. She has said that yes, the drugs chat between Jaya Saha and Shraddha Kapoor did take place, but she has denied categorically about consumption of any narcotic substance. She has accepted that there was a party at Sushant's Pavna Lake farmhouse, but she has denied that there was any kind of drugs abuse during that party. With camera person Mangesh Amre, Mustafa Sheikh in Mumbai for India Today.
Umakant Mishra, who was earlier with the Narcotics Control Bureau, is live with us on the broadcast this evening. Mr. Mishra, once the stars deny having consumed these drugs, how do you view the evidence that the NCB has at hand? They've got WhatsApp messages. The stars are saying that yes, those WhatsApp messages are mine, but they're denying having consumed drugs. And in any case, these are end consumers. Is it correct for me to say that the Narcotics in the NDPS Act is such that it's very, very difficult to be able to prosecute somebody for having consumed a low quantity of drugs? Where do you see this case go from here, given this reality of the way the NDPS Act is structured?
Yeah, like I said just before, Rahul, the drug chart is only a link, a part of the link in a whole chain of investigation. So if it is one against one, like somebody says that you have consumed and the person who was alleged to have consumed says no, in the absence of any fresh chart or in the absence of other group people who are members of that group, they deny, I will say the evidence is weak because there is no possession. Now coming to whether they can be prosecuted or not, when the evidence is weak and when the consumption in itself is treated with a very soft glow by the act itself. So let's say, what would happen if somebody says yes and what would happen if somebody says no? In both events, it doesn't matter really. Why I tell you, Rahul, is the provision is that whenever a consumption, a addiction scenario is there and a small quantity recovered or not recovered, doesn't matter. Consumption itself is an offense. But what is the punishment? We are talking about ganja here. Let me tell you again in this reference, CBD oil I don't think it is a narcotic. So why all this noise about CBD oil, I really fail to understand. Whether it is for external use, whether it is for internal use, I fail to understand frankly. The other point to carry it forward is maximum, what is the worst case scenario in case of somebody who has consumed? Section 27 gives a punishment of only 6 months. or a penalty of 10,000 rupees, depending on the circumstances, depending on the discretion of the judge, and it gives two relaxation. Section 64A gives you a relaxation before prosecution starts. Section 39 gives you relaxation after the prosecution starts. The first can be given by the government itself. The Section 39 relaxation can be given by the court, so that even if you confess, you don't go to jail. You simply go to a correctional institution. Let me say the best, and in this reference I would like to go back and comment on Ria and also Nupur. The Ria's comment that their image is tarnished. No, it is simply a question of investigation. It is a power under Section 67 of the NDPS Act. It is a process of inquiry. However, coming to the attention, I will again give the example which he gave of Sanjay Dutt. I think Sanjay Dutt is a big hero even now. You see, the industry thrives on attention. Attention gets you money, attention gets you everything. So, even now also, you may call it as a negative attention, but I don't think their market value will diminish. Coming back to your comment on this investigation by
it's
NCB,
not. Oh, one second.
fishing expedition.
I don't see why investigators.
1 minute.
Okay, go on. Yes, go on.
Just to give me one. Regarding the fishing expedition, the comment that it is a wrong metaphor. I think the advocate of the Sushant Singh Rajput's family coined this term to define this education. You see, fishing expedition may be literally correct, because now the NCB is casting its net and catching small fish. But that doesn't mean the big fishes are not out in the pond and NCB will not catch them. It is simply a matter of strategy. It is simply a case of natural progression from going from a small fish, getting your base, jumping from there and catching the big fish. Yes, to you, Rahul.
No, but I don't see why, Ria, the investigator should worry about brand value, whether it survives, because this is ultimately an investigation. If you've got the evidence, you must
they
be able
don't
to
worry.
prove it. And if
the other
don't,
people are worrying.
Then it's really unfair.
Yeah.
No, but it's only natural. These are big stars and they have huge brand values, and an investigation of this nature has reputational consequences. But their brand value being diminished, cannot be the punishment. Ultimately, the NCB is calling them in, dragging their name. Dragging their name through the mud. Then you have to be able to prove that. Ria, opinion is divided on whether this impacts their long-term prospects as film stars. We've seen with the likes of Ria, we've seen with the likes of Sanjay Dutt, and even Mahesh Bhatt earlier accepted that he was addicted to drugs long back, and went on to be a very successful filmmaker. It didn't impact Mahesh Bhatt or Sanjay Dutt's position in Bollywood. Do you think it will impact the likes of Deepika Padukone, Sara Ali Khan?
Rahul, let me be very back then people were not so rigid. Right now, if you see, there are a lot of things changing. People have become very, very negative. You pick up the social media, you pick up the TV channels, as I've named some channels. You should see the way earlier channels used to not do such thing. These days, channels have started making it, and you deny it or you do not accept it, that media has a big role to play, negative or positive publicity. So we cannot deny that. I've also worked in the media. I also very well know that media has a large chunk of, they actually are responsible for making a name and breaking a name. आज अगर आप दीपिका को villain बना, जैसे लोग villain बना रहे हैं, you actually pick up the social media, people are slamming, shaming her, and not just her, Jaya Bachchan has also been pulled out and shamed for no reason. But at the end of the day, it's media. If the damage control will be done only by media, if you all will make them a goddess, they become a goddess. If you all make them a villain, they become a villain. That is the entire thing. Now, there's one more thing that I want to ask the NCB ex-director. Sir, if basically all this is happening, क्या ये एक चीज, ये जो conveniently ये सारे chats बाहर आ रहे हैं, how is it possible? Why is there breach of secrecy, breach of privacy here? I mean, apparently you pick up the WhatsApp phone. It says the messages are basically not interrupted, and they're not allowed to be opened by anybody, even the officials of WhatsApp. तो आप ये this today a chat has been leaked out in the public domain and made fun of. This was not there earlier, Rahul. If you see earlier, media used to not make.
Would you, Umakant Mishra, criticize? Would you criticize the NCB and the manner in which it's conducting this probe? We are asking questions about private chats being leaked in public as opposed to being presented before a magistrate to determine whether it's evidence or not.
Rahul, I certainly unqualifiedly condemn any leakage if that would have happened from NCB, because even if it doesn't diminish the quality of the evidence, it may affect the prospect of further future investigation.
Exactly.
One. Second, and also I think I should thank the resourcefulness of the media who is able to engineer such leakage.
The leakage only happens when the leakage is allowed to happen. So many things happen where there is no leakage. So yes, of course, journalists are hugely resourceful, but there has to be somebody who opens the tap and allows the leak to go through. Anyway, so we will keep tracking this case very, very closely. It was an action-packed day tomorrow. The NCB officers have been working hard this week. They want the day off. So we will track what happens on Monday. Thank you for tuning in. News and updates continue on the other side. Stay with us on India Today.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.